Hello, hello, hello. Bang on the dot of 7. Gosh, that very rarely happens, but here we are. Another Technique Tuesday with the Chaos Goblin. And I'm just trying to get all the gadgets to do what they need to do, and then I'll be able to do whatever I'm doing. Teach you. There we go. We are live. Yay! It just takes a second just to get it all together. All right, without further ado, let's get on. Now, last week I used Hobby Haven, and I'm going to use it again this week because I absolutely love it. It is so cute. We're going to use some of the punch out leaves, just like I did last month. We're actually going to use the stamp set and dies, and I'm going to show you a quick and easy gift card holder with this. So as always with all of my classes, make sure you have a pen and a paper so you can jot some notes down so that you can recreate this project yourself if you want. I'm going to say hello, hopefully, to a few friends. Make sure you say hello and where you're watching from, whether you're watching it on replay. And as always, I would love you to share this video with some of your friends on your Facebook page. It really helps me. Everything that I use tonight, you'll see, you can find it on sarahbatkin.stampinup.net, and I've given you the reference number for this suite, 167214. Now, I know a lot of the paper suites are on back order. They're unavailable just temporarily, but hold on, they will be coming back again. All right, so I'm going to use the Creative Haven dies and stamp set. I've already gone ahead and stamped and cut everything ready. I am still not packed. I leave at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning to go to California for Stampin' Up's annual convention, which I'm very excited about. It's called On Stage, and that's where I'm headed with a huge group of friends and seeing friends from around the country. I've got team members coming. I've got team leaders underneath me coming. I'm there to celebrate them all. I've got lots of gifts for them and signage, so make sure you watch out for the combined Legacies of Love teams. You'll see us all with our turquoise signage with all the team leaders underneath me. I'm so excited. They arrived 2 days ago and I so wanted to share them with you, but I can't. I have to. It's a surprise for all the guys and girls that have got these to come, and then we've got cute other gifts, and it's going to be so much fun. And the best bit, we're staying on board the Queen Mary. So right, so what we're going to do is we are going to make a little gift card pouch, which is what I said. Now, I think this video is freezing. I don't know where. I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully it is still working. It's still working on my phone. Maybe it's just my iPad that is playing catch up. So I'm just going to keep going and hope you can all hear me. And so actually, can you give me some thumbs up or some loving if you can still hear me and everything is still going smoothly, just so I know that we're all working. There's a lot of us in the house right now, and so there's a lot of bandwidth being used, I'm sure. All right, so the base is this piece here, and I'm going to give you all the paper piece sizes. This piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's basically a card front size. All right. So 4.25 by 5.5. So 4.25 by 5.5. And it is scored at 2 inches and 4 1/2 inches. And 4 1/2 inches, yeah. So for my Japanese friends, Yonte ni go kokeru goten go dozo, score ni inches and yonten go inches. Okay, there is a third score, and that is 1/2 inch up from the bottom. Okay, so 3 scores: 2 inches, 4 1/2, and 1/2 inch up. All right. That makes sense? So again, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to wait. Can you give me some thumbs up if everything is working? I think it is, because on my phone it is. I think it's just on my iPad that it isn't. But it's really frustrating if it's not coming through. Please, somebody give me the thumbs up. Let me see some thumbs up or some loving, some hearts. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. All right, so this will be your base, and before I do anything to it, I want to show you how I got this. I actually used this die here. Oh yeah, we got thumbs up, we've got some hearts, we love it. As you can see, I used this to cut out this cute little doodad. Scooby Shape. Scooby Shape is as much as this brain can manage right now. It's a great way to pull tags out, okay? Well, we're going for Scooby Shape as the official terminology for that shape. It's just, it honestly, Chaos Goblin, I so need ADHD meds today. It is untrue. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the pecan pie stamping spots. These are our little itty bitty ink spots, and I'm going to drag it down the cardstock like so, and it gives this textured wood grain effect. Okay, I'm just doing it on a piece of cardstock that came inside one of the edges. Okay, so that was my first trick. All right, so let's glue this together. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to fold it again on the back. Actually, we're going to fold it that way. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a tiny amount. You have about 1/2 inch of overlap, all right? And yes, I'm going to use, before I even do this, I'm going to use my bone folder. This is a Stampin' Up! Bone folder, and I'm just really going to flatten down that cardstock, okay? I'm just going to flatten it down like that. Okay, so we're going to run using the liquid adhesive, which is very runny, so just be careful. We're just going to put a thin line up to that score line, and then we'll just close it. All right. 0.75. So Ichi 10 go, Kokeru go 10 nana go. And again, I've only scored this piece once, and that is at the 2-inch mark. So these two are scored at the 2-inch mark. This one is scored just a little beyond 4.5, and this one is not scored at all. And we're just going to do it. All right, so we are going to wrap this around, and with that first fold that I've got, I can now fold this around like that, okay? Actually, we're going to tuck that down first, and then we're just going to attach the piece to the 2-inch mark. So I'm actually gluing this down so it will not slide off. I don't want it to slide off. We're going to bring it down just a little bit. All right, about halfway. Okay, here we go. So all I'm going to do is, with my liquid adhesive, I'm just going to zigzag backwards and forwards, push it up to that edge so we know it's nice and straight, push it down, and then I will add a little bit of adhesive along this edge here. Now you can see I'm using this liquid glue because it's a permanent glue. It's a permanent adhesive. Okay, a little bit patient with it, and we'll weigh it down again. You see, you just find what you've got. Now, if you don't have a bottle like this, you could use a stack of ink pads. You could take your blocks and you could stack your blocks up. Anything that's just going to hold it, or you could just stand and hold it if you like. All right, while we're waiting for that to dry, let's go on a little bit further. So you can see, as I said, so I used the end of this die for the Scoopy section, and then I cut out some of these tags, all right, a selection of them, and let me share with you what I did. All right, so I cut out this one in just white cardstock because this one is going to be for your sentiment, and I do have one of the punch outs from that paper, and I'm just going to just very gently just rough it up, just a whisker, just to make it have that same cohesive look. And yes, I know that the feed keeps dropping. I'm sorry, it is the internet. I can't do anything about it. So I'm just going to keep working, and hopefully you can see some of it. I apologize. I think everybody in the house is on the internet right now. I actually came off the internet in the hopes that it would be better, but obviously it isn't. And I am going to, I have a tape runner, here it is. I'm going to use a tape runner for this. All right, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal, and then we're just going to attach that to the top like so. Okay, All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I have two tags that I cut out using this large tag, and I've cut two pieces of ribbon, which are 5.5 inches. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to start at the back, and I'm just going to make a loop and thread the tails through. Okay, I know the video will catch up eventually. I apologize. And then we'll do the same again with this brown one. Come in from the back. I like to come in from the back. And then you have this cute little heart shape at the front. Now, if you don't like that and you want it to look like that, then do it from the front. I actually like the little heart shape on the front. But you do you, boo. This will be your project. This is the garden. Oops, I just pulled them both through. This is I was looking at the label on the ribbon. Okay, Chaos Goblin strikes again. This is the garden green and white diagonal or chevron stripe ribbon. 167212. It is part of the bundle, which we love. We do love a good bundle because you save. They put all these items together and then they've discounted it by around 10%, and then you earn another 10% in stamping rewards. Cute, 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 cute. All right. So the next thing I want to share with you, I stamped the art shape. I cut the art shape rather, and then I stamped the words on it. All right, so let me show you what I did. I'm like, you've got this. I love that. So I just stamped, cut it in white and stamped it in the brown. All right, and we'll just leave that there. So this is just a little thing of affirmation. All right, the next thing is I thought it would be kind of fun to actually use this as a gift card holder. So a gift card is the same size as my business card. The gift card is a little longer, but it wouldn't matter. It would just stand up in your pocket a little bit higher, which is what we want. So what you would do is you would just add a glue dot to the bottom edge, and my glue dots are in my bag. So we're going to just use a whisker of the adhesive, removable adhesive. But I would use a glue dot if I were you. And we're just going to pop that down, and it will just leave a whisker of cardstock at the top. Okay, we have a plain one so that you can write on it. Dear Sarah, love you lots. We love your Chaos Goblin classes. Thank you for sharing every Tuesday. and the last one I wanted to do, actually, we're going to put the next piece on this, and then I'll show you the last one. All right, so again, this is the paper. So here's my 2 inches, okay? And this time I'm actually going to just use my fingers to fold it round. We'll take it off, and then I'll fold it more firmly, okay? And we're going to do the same thing again. We are going to tuck that shorter edge in, and then the 2-inch piece will go over the top, and that way it will, all these 2-inch areas will line up. We love that. All right, so here we go. Let's just do a whisker of stuff along there, and then a little bit along the edge of the paper. Let's put the lid on it before I knock it over, because you know that's coming. Can I do it one-handedly from across the other side of the table? Yes, ma'am, I can. Or sir, if you're watching. There we go. And again, with my handy dandy weight, we'll pop that there. All right, going back to this tag. It's the same shape as the white one. I did it in the, what colour? This is Early Espresso. And again, I'm just going to just scuff up those edges just a little bit. And then the stamp that matches this, I'm going to talk about it while I just Edge Distress, this one. Friends Like You Are Golden. I thought it was so pretty with all the leaves around it. And this one I did in the Pecan Pie, like I said, which is the same colour as we did Distress the cardstock in. Okay, but I thought it would be fun to do a paper piecing technique on this this one that says Friends Like You Are Golden. So I stamped it twice. I stamped it in the Granny Apple Green because I'm using that colour cardstock, right? And then I stamped it again in Pecan Pie. All right, so let me pull this out and show you. So you can see it. Here is the stamp. And actually, it's easier to see it on the printed paper than it is in my hand. I realise that. So I stamped it, and then I took my scissors, and then I just fussy cut around the edge, pretty close to that outside green ink line. And that way, when I put it onto the early espresso, it's just going to give me that little bit of a border. Okay, so let me stick this down for a start, which I think it is so pretty. It's not difficult, it just takes a little bit of time. And then the second piece that I stamped, I just went in and I just cut around the words, and that way I can lie that on top and get that paper pieced effect. So we're just going to, and I cut it pretty close to the ink line. Friends Like You Are Golden. Isn't that cute? Super, super pretty. All right. So what we're going to do is actually, I don't actually need these edges. I'm actually going to cut these off. Of course, now I've stuck it down and I've put my scissors down. Okay, here are the scissors. I'm actually just going to, I've decided I don't want these edges on. So you can trim these two last pieces off and just leave the front piece on. And I'm just going to trim those off. All right, and then this will fold up at the bottom. Ha! How cute is that? All right, I'm just going to add some Stampin' Seal to that, just for speed. You would use the permanent adhesive, but I need to do it a little bit faster. And again, I am just going to use that. I have a burnishing tool to burnish those folds. All right, so here's my pocket. So look how cute this is. Okay, so let me just open it up with my fingers, and now I can slide my little tags inside. How cute is that? Okay, right, so you can see that I made this pocket significantly wider than the tags. And you're going to say, Sarah, the pocket's too big. No, the pocket is not too big. These tags are approximately 2 inches wide. I have made this 2.5 inches wide because by the time you start stacking all of these tags, sorry, my nails are long, in this pocket, the depth of it is going to make the width short narrower. It will all make sense in a minute. All right, let's decorate the front of this. Let's get rid of the garbage. Let's move the dies. And let's play with some of this. So you can see that I used those leaf dies that come in the die set in some Granny Apple Green cardstock, which is the same as the ink colour. And I do have this leaf as well, which I've trimmed out. It's one of the dies that come in the kit, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet. I am going to just show you how quick and easy it is just to trim off a little bit of that white if you want to. And you know, at this point I'm going to start using the 3D foam squares, the Stampin' Dimensionals. Now I didn't use any on the tags because obviously that's going to make the pocket even more bulky. All right, and then we have these cute coffee cups. Now if I had a bigger area here, I probably wouldn't trim these out, but because my surface of the front of this pocket is pretty small, I just want to make the space that I have more optimal. So just another tip and trick. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of these dies. I just pulled them out because they all corresponded. Now, I love to share little tips and tricks like this, and that's what I do at my crops. I had a crop on Saturday. We had a blast. We had so much fun, so much laughter, many good friends. My next crop is April the 4th, so if you're interested, you'll find all the information on the Paper Crafting with Sarah page. If you're not in that page, send me a message and I'll get you in there. That's easy. It's a private page that I have. All right, 3D foam tape before I get distracted. I have 2 brand new sheets of 3D foam tape. I've got them out ready. Look, see, I can find them. Look at me go. All right, so let's use some bigger ones on here. It'll just be easier. So we're going to do 1, 2, whoops. 3, oops, and 4. And no, the nails are not as long because I actually made them a little bit shorter. I'm only going to stick the bottom 2 down for a minute because I want to see where I want to put these leaves. Super cute. Okay, I think I like that one there. I don't want it to hang over the scoopy area too much because it will, we're not going to use this glue, we're going to use the Tombow multi-purpose glue. It'll be easier. Okay, I don't want it to hang over that area too much because I don't want it to get ripped. Okay, so we'll only have it hanging over a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with these. Now it doesn't matter because it could go in an envelope if you wanted it to. Hang on, there's another one there. Let me just grab it. So I did actually trim my nails a whisker shorter, although you'd never guess. Why? Because I'm flying, and if they decide to fingerprint me at the airport, which they sometimes do, it means that I can get my nails in the machine. Because they get very testy when you can't get your nails into the fingerprinting machine because your nails are too long. And you know this girl isn't cutting her nails short at the airport for anybody. So that's the... I have trimmed them a little bit shorter, but they're still longer than I was anticipating. I'm not sure about if I want this one. I might. I don't know. I can't decide on that one. So I'm going to get these in first, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so here I come with my little coffee machine. You see, it's the coffee machine that makes life happy. Now, where did I get the inspiration for this? I actually got the inspiration for this off the website. There is a very similar pocket. That's what I love about Stampin' Up. There is so much artwork. So if you look at the Hobby Haven suite online, you will see that there is all sorts of artwork. And this was one of the items that was there. I'm going to put that one flat. And so I decided to copy it, figure out how to make it, and then copy it. You know, I do think I want that, but it is too long. So let's trim it out anyway, because I definitely don't want it as long as that. Yes. Okay, so let's just pop it there. That was the inspiration for this, and then looked at it and went, okay, so I wonder how they've done this, and I wonder how they've done that, and let's put a bit here, and let's poke a bit off there, and let's trim a bit here. You know, one of those, and sometimes, you know, that's how it works. All right, we have a little heart. I actually don't know whether I want to use that. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. We always want at least one heart on here, right? I might use another one on something else. All right. I love the fact that dies, there are so many. You can make so many cards with this paper. My class that I'm teaching with this made the 2 layouts and then the 2 cards. I love that. I really do. So let's put these tags in the pockets, and then let's see what else I need. So we have a gift card. You know, you could do it to your local coffee shop. And then we have some tags. We have the piece so that you can write your name on it. Now you can see how full this pocket's getting. Not sure if I'm going to need this 5th tag. Let's just tuck that one inside. Whoops. I'm going to layer them up how I want them. And then I'm going to slide them in. Yes, I can still get that 5th tag in if I wanted to. Let's pop that at the back. And then we've got all the tags. How cute is that? So cute. So I promised the girls that I was with, actually let's fan them out just a little bit and then you can see them all because these are adorable. The girls that I taught the class to last week, we were talking about this set. I love that. It just needs some gems. Please hold while I go trawling through my basket of fabulosity to find the gems that match this, because everything is getting ready and packed with all my samples, because when I get back from wherever I'm going, Long Beach, I am headed to Akron, Ohio. So if you live in the Akron, Ohio area, come and see me at the Adventures in Stamping, because that's where I'll be. These are the gems that come in the bundle. Yes, right. So let's use a few of them. I think I want... Oh, I don't know. So how do you decide? Hold them over your project to see. I think I like the light brown better. Okay, we don't need very many. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. Let's have a large one and a small one. They look like coffee beans. That's why I like this colour. So make sure you come and visit me. I will have a booth with all sorts of fun items on the booth to share with you. There's artwork, there's stock you can buy. I have a make and take for you, so everything is packed in boxes everywhere right now. So there you go. How do you like it? Isn't that the cutest? It will fit in an envelope. I'm actually going to come in here and just add a little bit of 3D foam tape underneath that leaf there, because it's going to get torn. Okay, I'm actually going to glue this one flat a bit further towards the okay, I'm in my own light, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, I don't want to glue the end down, but and I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to glue this a little bit further near the edge of the card pocket. Okay, and I'm going to use 3D foam tape on this one. All right, so what happens if you've got a skinny leaf and your 3D foam tape is too big? Cut it in half. There we go, problem solved. And problem would be solved more if my nails weren't so long. Okay, I'm trying to stick it to the end of my scissors so I can poke it underneath the leaf. So it's going to go underneath that one there, and we can peel the backing off in a second, and we'll put it underneath this leaf here, and we'll peel the backing off. All right, so let me just take care of that. Oh, backing already came off it apparently. Not quite. Okay, tweezers, Sarah. Again with the nails. Everybody thinks that they're sharp, but my nails are not, because they're acrylic. They're a little bit thicker, so picking up small items is hard. Leo, my oldest son, his greatest laugh is to drop a bobby pin or a credit card on the floor and then watch me try and pick it up like a crab. It's impossible. Bobby pins and credit cards, somebody else needs to. I love that. Do you love this? I hope you do. I hope you've had fun. I apologize about the feed stopping and starting, but I hope you've been able to get the gist of what I've been making and that you love it as much. I will post a photo up and I will see you when I get back from California next week.